The story is of a man called Mr. Rajiv Jain. His company GQG, a serial investor into all Adani stocks. Guess how much GQG made? 17,000 crore rupees in just the last 9 months. So, for all the stories doing the runs of Adani, if there is somebody who is winning with Adani, it is GQG and Rajiv Jain. Isn't it, Kartik? What a story. In a situation where, you're looking at how Adani stocks have bounced back, specifically in the recent past, in the last week to 2 weeks per se. Not surprising, isn't it?
So, Krishna, I think when everybody had lost hope on Adani stocks, and not just retail investors, in fact, the kind of beating that the Adani stock took immediately in the immediate aftermath of the Adani Hindenburg research report, the Hindenburg research report naming Adani and Adani's violation on 2 counts. One, wrongful gains by taking short positions, and the second, violation of minimum public shareholding. We saw that the Adani Group stocks, and all 10 of them listed on Indian markets, had taken a massive beating. And GQG came in as one investor which went ahead and bought and bought and bought and bought. And that not just kept the Adani float in some sense, protected from going even further down, but GQG and Mr. Rajiv Jain, who in fact is one of the co-founders of GQG, which started in 2016, really taking bullish calls on Adani and arming himself and creating this sort of war chest by arming himself with Adani stocks. And now with 2-3 series of reports. And what are these reports? One, of course, was the pending Supreme Court order in the case where it has reserved its judgment yet on SEBI, not really ruling one way or another, but some sort of a positive signal picked up by markets that got Adani stocks rallying.
Right.
And then the second one came just 2 days ago, where international DFC in the US went ahead and approved a $550 million loan to Adani Ports and SEZ to build a port in Sri Lanka, calling the Hindenburg research irrelevant and inconsequential.
Right.
Actually saw the biggest rally, I think, in the last 1 year, ever since Jan 25th, when the Hindenburg research report came out. And that made actually the Adani stocks really go up in a tizzy. And look at the killing that Mr. Rajiv Jain and GQG has made. 17,000 crore rupees as of market close yesterday. That is the amount of money that GQG has made. His investments, his early bets on a tanking Adani series of stocks paying off very well, and
paying off as much as 84%.
84% and 17,000 crore rupees. That is the value that Rajiv Jain has actually made.
And there you go. If you had any doubts about what we're talking about, those numbers really tell you the story. The Adani Enterprises, the initial investment at 3,403, and the current value 3 times that.
Wow.
Absolutely. Look at every single number over there. It's at least a double everywhere you go. Barring a couple of Adani transmissions and a couple of others where, the gains are not as obvious, but the big ones like Adani Enterprises and Adani Green Energy and Adani Ports and SEZ, the returns have been, it's been a quantum jump. Exponential is the best way to describe them. Where does GQG go from here? That's my question.
Krishna, I think at this point of time, if I were Rajiv Jain, I'm not. By any means of imagination, I'm not.
No.
But
if
I think this would be a time to book some profits, in my opinion.
Okay.
While I think analysts out there may differ and may disagree with me, Adani Group and the promoters would definitely disagree with me. But the verdict on the Hindenburg research report is not out as yet.
Yeah.
Neither has SEBI. While SEBI says that it has concluded its investigation in 22 out of the 24 matters, the other 2 are still pending. The opaque structures continue to exist. SEBI has written to companies, who are based outside the shores of India, seeking information on the final beneficiaries of what short positions were apparently taken. But I think this may be a good time to book some profits and perhaps still stay invested if they really believe that there's nothing substantial that will come out of the Hindenburg
I have a
report.
question. Are you talking to Rajiv Jain and GQG? Are you talking to the retail investors out there?
I'm saying if I were Rajiv Jain, perhaps I'm not as risk. My risk appetite is not perhaps as high as Mr. Rajiv Jain's. As a slightly risk averse, yet somebody who did take that risk and bet in early days, I would want to cash out a little bit
Yeah,
right now.
that's why I'm asking. So that sounds more like the retail investor talk out there. If anybody who chose to stick by the Adani
I think that
stocks.
sounds like a very, very middle class retail investor.
Fair enough. See, so it depends upon where you're sitting when it comes to decision making, especially when it comes to money and buying stocks or selling them. So that's the story as far as GQG and Rajiv Jain and their investments into the Adani group is concerned.